Hey guys, this is Stephanie Richardson Parker, and today I want to talk about the lessons I learned when I quit my corporate job. One of the things that I quickly learned after leaving my corporate job is that receiving a predictable paycheck is addictive, kind of like a drug. Hear me out. When you are so used to getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, every month, that is highly addictive, kind of like heroin. I've never tried the stuff, just saying. Here's why. Your life kind of revolves around that income coming in at a certain time period every month or every week. And because of that, you can kind of adjust your life around that. And then you also know, no matter what happens, if you get sick, if you call out from work, if you go on vacation, that paycheck is always going to come. And you need it. Your bills depend on it. Everything depends on it. And if you miss a paycheck or there's a time where your job doesn't pay you, I'm sure for a lot of people, all hell will break loose because you have to have it. You're so dependent on it. And in entrepreneurship, there is no weekly, monthly, bi-weekly paycheck. It may come, money may come at the end of a week, or it may not come at the end of a week or the end of the month. And if it doesn't come, then what are you gonna do? So for me, that was one of the hardest things I had to break. I had to break that addiction to getting a predictable bi-weekly, in my case it was bi-weekly paycheck, and learn how to kind of alter my life around not getting predictable income. That is very tough. Another lesson that I learned is really defining my needs versus my wants. When you are working in a job, because you have predictable income coming in, you can really buy a lot of your wants. So for example, some of your wants can be the purse or designer jeans or a fancy car. For me, one of my wants that I spent a lot on was travel. I love travel and I love to take trips. I still do now. But that really is a want and not a need. So your needs are, right, food, shelter, making sure your electricity bill is paid, those type of things, making sure you're saving adequate amount of money. Those are your needs. And when you get into entrepreneurship, you really have to define those, because for most people, your entrepreneurship journey at the beginning will not be able to financially support those wants. That's the truth. So in the beginning, when you leave work or you decide to leave work, really understand what your needs are and what your wants are. So that way you can kind of understand how much money you actually need to survive, and understand that some of those wants are gonna have to go temporarily until your business is actually able to satisfy both your wants and your needs. Another thing that I learned was my freedom number. Do you know what your freedom number is? Let's talk this out. So for me, I really had to understand how much did it take for me to survive every single month. Again, separating out the needs versus the wants. For my needs, how much money did I really need to make in order to survive? And once I figured that out, that was my freedom number. That was the amount that I said, okay, if I made this, then I know for sure that I can survive and have freedom from my corporate America job. So you really have to look at your bank statements and really look at what you're spending and look at those needs. Again, look at your mortgage or rent payment. Look at your car note if you have that. If you have a student loan payment, can that be adjusted? Look at that. Look at how much you're spending on food. Look how much you're spending on transportation, gas, Uber, Lyft, all those things. So that way you really understand what you need. And those wants, that cable, do you need that or do you want that? Now, internet, We all know that's a need. But if you have subscriptions to magazines, if you are eating out 5-6 days a week, those are wants. So you really have to really dig deep. If you're really serious about leaving corporate America, like I was. So I had to really dig deep to figure out, what did I need to survive? What was my freedom number? And most people, when you're working a corporate job, you're not thinking about that, because you're pretty much having that salary and you have the freedom to spend at your leisure. And with entrepreneurship, you may not be able to do that at first. So know your freedom number. Okay, here's one that I don't think enough people talked about. Entrepreneurship is very lonely, okay? It's lonely, honey. And here's why. A lot of people work corporate jobs, no shade, but they do. So you think about when you are working your corporate job, you can complain to your friends and family about how much you hated Susan at your job. And if she say one more word to you, it was gonna be on, or how you hate your boss. Everyone can relate to all that. But if you're trying to start a business from scratch and you're having problems, which you're going to have problems, who are you gonna talk to? Who are you going to relate to that can kind of help you or talk you down from the edge when you feel like quitting? And truth be told, your family and friends may not support you in the journey. That's also very lonely, because you may feel like, I'm out here by myself doing this, and that might make you want to go back into corporate America where it's safe, right? So you really have to find your tribe, find your entrepreneurial tribe with like-minded entrepreneurs. That might mean you might have to go to meetup groups, or you might have to go online. That's what I did. A lot of people that I talk to are online, because I don't have a lot of people in my space that own their own business. A lot of people are still working, which is fine. But there's days when I need to talk entrepreneurship and I need help. And I need to vent, and I don't want someone's first reaction to be well, girl, just go back to corporate America. It's easier. Oh, I want to put up with that. No, you need to go back to work. You need to go back to a job. You need to go back to where it's safe. Stop doing all this entrepreneurship stuff. It's a pipe dream. You really have to make sure that you surround yourself with people who are like-minded, because it's a lonely road. Entrepreneurship is a road less traveled, and that's for a reason. It's hard. I know we've talked a lot about money, your freedom number, and all these things. I just want to say this, and this was a lesson that I learned, that money isn't everything. And I know it's very cliche for people to say that, but you're thinking, okay, now wait a minute. I have bills to pay. Wait a minute, I have to eat. Wait a minute, my kids need this or that. And that's all true. I'm not here to say like you just live off of inspiration and dedication and just wait for the universe to pay all your bills magically. That's crazy, okay? Not saying that, but money isn't everything, in a sense that you don't have to make 6 figures per se to be happy. At the height of my corporate career, I made almost 6 figures. I wasn't miserable, but I was just like, it's all right. Take it or leave it. And I was willing to give that up to make far less to start my own business. Because, starting your own business, you may not come out making 6 figures. Your business can make 6 figures. My business is making 6 figures, but my salary isn't 6 figures. That would be impossible for my business to survive. But what I realize is that I am much happier now making far less than 6 figures than what I was in working a job. And I think for me, the reason why is because I kind of can do what I want to do, in a sense. Don't get me wrong, in the business there's a lot of stuff where it's just like it's hard and it can be annoying, but I can plan my own schedule. I can decide who I want to work with, right? I have some customers, I don't really like them. Guess what? I can start working with them if I want to. So if I have customers that I really don't like, I can stop working with them, right? If I'm at a job and I don't like my coworker, so what? Hey, Susie, good morning. That's what just has to happen. You still have to do that. I don't have to get up at a certain time and fight traffic. You know, I work from home. That works better for me. I don't have to ask anybody, hey, Susie, can I have Wednesday off? I have a doctor's appointment. Or, hey, me and my husband, we want to enjoy the weekend. Can I have Friday off? I'm grown. Like, I don't need to do all that. So that's why I say for me, that the money that the corporate America gives you, it can't buy that sense of freedom that you have, that I have when I left corporate America and started doing things on my own, and I was able to dictate my life. So now for me, my entrepreneurship journey and my life, they coexist together. It's not like my job and my life are over here. They all kind of coexist together. And for me, that works a lot better. And the money will come. If I just keep grinding and keep hustling, I know the money will come. And I don't feel any kind of way that I don't make, you know, the almost 6 figures that I was making at my job. I still have everything that I need. I'm not lacking anything at all. So that's what they say. I think that's what people mean when they say money really isn't everything. Okay, guys, that is all I have for you. Let me know in the comments, what did you guys learn since leaving your corporate America job? Or if you guys are still in corporate America, let me know what you guys are struggling with, because I think as a community, this isn't talked about enough. And I think that really holds a lot of people back from thinking like, hey, I can't leave work. I can't do it. There's all these things that are just standing in my way. And I was there. I never thought it would be possible to leave work. That was just something that everybody does. All my friends do, all my family does. So it just seems so impossible. So let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear from you guys. Let's see. In 1 year, I traveled to South Africa, Guatemala, London. Not a need.